Welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. This is following on from the last podcast, which was mainly about Afghanistan, the situation that's happening out there, and the idea that this was not preventable, that like President Biden was saying that there was no way they could leave without chaos. Well, yeah, if you don't plan for anything, then yes, if you just decide... I mean, what I feel he effectively did was, so you had he'd gone on TV and said there's going to be a match between Arsenal and Man United at Wembley Stadium at 3 p.m. He didn't sell any tickets, he didn't do any preparation or anything, he just said that, and that was it. And then everyone was allowed to just pour in, and that would have been the same kind of thing that, I don't know, there may have been more complexities in Afghanistan, but that's how it seems, how the media have put it across. And whereas we have lots of systems to control people, to control events in the West, there's lots of plans he could have used, in the sense that he could have, when he knew that this was going to happen, he could have made sure all the military, or most of the military, were out already, and he could have posted a date or given people forms to fill in that this is the day when we're going to start doing this over these 2 weeks, no need to rush, or month, and this is the month we're going to do it in, we're going to allocate appointments, here, fill in your form, fill in your details and get your papers, and those people will be given a location to go to if they're accepted. The things that we do here, the things that we did with COVID-19 with jabs, the things that we do with football events, the things that we do all the time. And that's where you know that these things are racist. That's the mentality that they have. And I don't know whether, I can't say it's about President Biden, because I'm sure he's advised by people, but it's the West's idea of India, of Africa, of some of the Middle East, of how we see people like crowds of people, the same shots you always see when they talk about these certain countries. And yes, some of it is down to what's happening there. Yeah, I understand that, but it's like, in a film about Africa, where you'll always get children jumping into the water or drinking water out of a bowl or putting something on their back. And those times are sort of stereotypical things, that in movies are done, and in news is done as well. They're just like stamps of, this is to get your brain thinking this way, this is what this means. And some of it's done subconsciously, or just because you expect to see those things. But what I'm trying to say is that this idea that, they just decided that they're going to go out, and then everyone just piled in. Now people are squeezing each other, they're dying through dehydration, they're dying by being squashed. We all have seen COVID-19 vaccination centres, right? We've all seen and in Tesco's and shopping centres around the world, the idea of having, just bollards or things to put to make people shuttle in so that they don't all squash each other. Why is it that the shops in the West and the vaccination centres did that? They planned, because they didn't want people just, being in a big box and squeezing each other, because it creates order and it doesn't create chaos. This is easily done. You don't need any great money for these things. You're telling me the British military, the American military, with all the money in the world, more money than Afghanistan, they couldn't get some borders so that people go around like an S shape, so they can't squeeze each other, so we don't get these big scenes of... Because that's what it's putting across as well. When people see these scenes of loads of people, it's like they're made into cattle. That's what these images do. It's like they're animals, and that's how the West... not me, I'm talking about the West, see Africans, Indians, people like that. That's why you get these shots all the time. That's what they're trying to create. They want that image. They want that image of chaos. They want you to and they want those people as well to see themselves as victims, as someone who's not worthy of that S-shape corridor for people shopping or getting vaccination. There's lots of things they could have done. These are just things that I've thought off the top of my head. I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not the person in charge of these things. And most of them were on holiday. Now, that's not a coincidence, is it? If you're going to pull out of a country and it's a major thing, yeah, you're not going to all be on holiday. most of them were all on holiday and wouldn't come back to sort out the situation that they'd caused. All of them collectively, because they all had that responsibility to those people, but they don't care about those people. It's the same as when we had the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's easier for, and this is true, it's easier for these white Western people to drop bombs on Indians or in Pakistan or to allow it, or to drop bombs on Middle Eastern people in Afghanistan and Iraq. Collateral damage was used. This idea of dropping bombs, they say it's targeted, blah, 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 but they always are going to, they have blown up children and women and innocent people, but that's collateral damage. That's okay. That's war. But they wouldn't do the same thing if it was a problem they had with Germany or Northern Ireland. You didn't see in the IRA British planes going over the top of Northern Ireland and dropping bombs. Why? Why didn't you see that? Because the idea of a white person killing another white person is so difficult for them to get around. Whereas white people in power, historically, are still seeing people from India, Africa, and etc. as some kind of alien. And I mean that in the dictionary sense, not in the UFO sense. As something different, still scared of them, still not given them the same stature. And that's witnessed when you see these images, when you see the fact that the president thinks that there was no way of doing this without chaos. Yeah, well, there may have been some little bits of problems. Yeah, there's always going to be problems. There was problems with the COVID-19 vaccinations and all that kind of stuff, but without any plan, without doing the same things that you would do, if you treated them the same way as you treat your own people, it wouldn't have been like this. And that's what I'm trying to get across. And that's, you don't have to take my word for that. You watch, you see these events, how differently things are done between countries who are friendly and countries who are not. Countries who are powerful and are left alone, yet have human rights problems. But if the same small country in the Middle East has that problem, let's go bomb them. Let's go to the UN and get a resolution to start a war, illegal or not. That's what this is all about. It's another form of inequality, of human suffering, of the way that we're programmed. A lot of them, it's just the way they're brought up to see ourselves as different, whereas we're actually the same. We're all the same. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.